Hi Aquarius, welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with me. My name's Carol and this is your May 2024 reading. So Aquarius, if you are new to my channel, I want to welcome you. This is a new channel and it started December 2023. So we're growing, so I'm quite excited about that. And if you're coming back, I'm always happy to see people coming back. And yeah, so welcome back. And so what we're going to do this month is we're going to look at a healing map, your healing map, right? So when I start out, I want to start getting an idea of what situation you're dealing with right now. It could be a pattern that's showing up in your life, something that, you know, keeps coming up. People keep showing up and you can't figure out why the same ones are showing up or the same things are happening in your life. And so we'll look at that. We'll look at maybe it's a struggle decision you have to make. Maybe you're dealing with something like addictions, emotions that are coming up for you to look at. So that'll be the first row. In the second row, I want to look at what needs healing. And the reason why I want to look at what needs healing is because that is what's having an impact. That'll have it's having a huge impact on the situation you're sitting in. Because there's something that needs healing, especially if there's a pattern showing up. Well, you need to heal that pattern. You need to get back to the roots of it to figure out, you know, why does this keep showing up in my life? Why are these type of people showing up in my life? And so we're going to be looking at your shadow. And the shadow is all those things that you've repressed when you were younger. And it also could mean, you know, sometimes there are gifts in your shadow, things that you were meant to do. And could be your true purpose, you know, what you really came here to do, but it's kind of been repressed and shoved down over the years by, you know, other people, maybe when we were growing up. And so we're going to be doing shadow work in the second row. Now, if you're unfamiliar with shadow or shadow work, I'm going to leave you a video that I did, and I'll link it at the end of this video, and I'll also put it in my description box below. And it's called My Powerful 4-Step Guide to Shadow Work. And it really is, it's all about facing your shadow and how you start. And in that video, I give you some other videos. I tell you how I do it. It's all free. It's all on YouTube. There's nothing in there that I'm going to ask you for money for. It's just, it's how I did it. I've been on a really intensive healing journey for myself for the last 7 years with a life coach. So I am working with somebody, and I will continue to work with somebody. And I've just decided, you know, I needed to put together something to show you how I did my, how I do my own healing. And I think it'll help you. There's a lot in there to help you. And then once we figure out what needs healing, we're going to look at how you can heal this. And so the tarot will give you a little bit more information about, you know, exactly what needs healing, a little bit more, and then we can figure out how to heal it. And sometimes I'll throw in a bit of what I think and what I've done. And then finally in the end, you know, there's got to be something that you get out of this. And there always is. You know, once you heal stuff, once you allow it to leave, there's always something new that's going to come in for you. And so we're going to look at what's the outcome here. So let's get started. I'm going to be using the Rider-Waite deck. I'll clarify with a smaller Rider-Waite deck. And then I'm going to pull a spirit animal for you at the end. And so I'm going to ask universe right now, universe, tarot, universe. I'll ask the tarot right now to give me 3 cards for Aquarius to tell me where Aquarius is sitting right now. What situation is Aquarius sitting in right now? Woo! Okay, so we got Justice card first. And we got the 7 of Pentacles. One more card here for Aquarius. I don't think anything else is flipped up. Okay, one more card for Aquarius, please. Oh, the 4 of Swords. 4 of Swords. Okay, so 2 cards right now for what needs healing. 2 cards for Aquarius. Oh, they came out. The Lovers, and the Magician. 2 major arcana cards in your shadow. Interesting. How are you going to heal this, Aquarius? 3 cards for Aquarius and how Aquarius is going to heal this. I have 1. Page of Cups. My little page. Very strong card. One that you want to get to know. And we have the 8 of Wands in reverse. And 1 more card here. The 6 of Cups. The 6 of Cups was kind of, I'm going to put it sideways here. It was kind of sideways. And what is the outcome? What is the outcome for Aquarius? Two cards. Okay, 2 cards, and we're almost at the end here, so we can begin the reading. Okay, now that I said that, okay, again, 2 cards, please, for Aquarius at the end of this reading. Oh, almost came out. Okay, we got 1. This is for the outcome. 1 more for the outcome. Okay, so we got 3 of them. The Empress. The 3. It's number 3 in the major arcana. Okay, 1 more. Okay, 7 of Swords. Another one that kind of came out sideways here. All right. I think we can begin. So Aquarius, back in December 2023, the end of December 2023, I put out some yearly readings for you for 2024. And they're linked to my description box if you haven't had a chance to see yours. And I pulled out 12 cards for you, 1 for each month. And it would have been the overriding energy for May. And so this is what you got. You got the Knight of Swords. So we're going to discuss that just for a sec here, just to kind of give us a feel of where you are this month. And you have the Knight of Swords. So my knights in my deck, all my knights are what I call my freedom fighters. They're an adolescent part of us. Now, before you start saying, like, what are you talking about? Let me just explain. I want you to think of an adolescent who wants nothing more than to be free. Wants to be free to do what they want to do. They want to be authentic. They want to be real. They want to be themselves. And a lot of times, you know, they're often stopped or blocked from doing that. And so they want freedom. They want authenticity. They don't want anybody to control them. And so I think in everyone has this part because we all want to be free. We all want to be free. We all want to be free to do what we want to do. We really do all want to be authentic. We want to be real. We want to know who we are. We want to do what we want to do. And we don't want people to control us. And this particular knight, he's the Knight of Swords. And swords is all about authenticity. It's all about cutting through that bullshit and finding out who we are. Like, because the sword is about our mental belief systems that we believe about ourselves. And they're belief systems, let's face it, that other people told us when we were younger, and they're not true. But we continue to believe that. And so this particular knight wants freedom to be authentic, wants freedom from control. The Knight of Swords wants freedom to be themselves. And so this month right now is, you know, that's an overriding energy for you, is that you're wanting your freedom. You want freedom. And so let's look at where we are. Let's look at what your situation is, and we'll try to bring that in when it applies. So, you start off with the Justice card. And very interesting that you're starting off with this card, seeing that you had the Knight of Swords here. Justice has a sword, and Justice has a balance with them. And this is a major arcana card, so it's like a big universal force that's coming about here. And so you're feeling like you want to get to the truth, right? There's the authentic sword, finding out who you are, and you're weighing the right and the wrong and balancing, you're trying to figure it out. You know, you're finding out things about yourself. Maybe you're healing, you're doing some healing, and you're just wanting to get to the truth about you. Finding out who you are. Most people do. And then, because the Seven of Pentacles is right behind it, and because the Seven of Pentacles it's in reverse here, but I think you've got to a point in your life right now with the Seven of Pentacles where you've put a lot of work into something. Some of you I know have raised a family, maybe are raising a family, maybe not, but you know, maybe you have a job, you've committed yourself to something your whole life, and maybe you're still doing it, and here you are hoeing everything, and you're piling it all up because the Pentacles is about our material wealth, and you're looking at it all going, is this it? Is this everything? Is there something else out there for me? There must be something else out there for me, because this can't be everything. Right? That's what you're doing right now. And it's in reverse here. And so I'm seeing here that maybe there's like, when something is in reverse, so you're saying, is this it? And you turn it around, and it's like, maybe you've decided there is something out there for you. And maybe you've decided, I'm moving on. Like, because, you know, this is what I thought was it. Now I know it's not it. And you've decided, because you're on this real path to find out who you are. Your true, who is Aquarius? Who are you? Because you're fed up, you're done. You're done with this other, you know, you're almost like not your other life, but you're sort of ready to move on. And I think I know that you're ready to move on, and I think that I know that you've kind of been on a little bit of a journey here already, because the Four of Swords comes in here. And the Four of Swords in the upright position here are all these, like I said, these mental belief systems here about yourself. And they're really tiring. When you live your life by the mental belief systems, by the belief systems that people have told you about yourself, it's tiring, because you have to keep putting all these masks on, because it's not you. But you've been told that that's you. So in order to be that fake person that you've been told that you are, you got to keep putting on these masks. And you're tired. You're tired of that other person that you have been most of your life, but that's not you. Right? And so I think here that, you know, this is kind of the card that says you need to rest. And I think here that, you know, maybe sometimes there is a resistance to carving out or taking time out for yourself. And I think you realize that, you know, it's time for me now to take time out for myself, to figure out who I am. Because this other person, this other life, or this other that I've committed all my life to, it can't be it. There has to be more here. So I see you're in a position where you're looking for more. And maybe you are, you know, taking some time out right now for yourself. And you're trying to figure something out right now. So what needs healing? What needs healing in this situation that you're finding yourself in about, you know, starting to figure out who you are? Well, what needs healing is it's this Lover's card that comes up. It's a powerful, powerful card that's a major arcana card, universal force here, where you have this masculine and this feminine side. And we all have those two sides of us. It doesn't matter what gender you are, but you have a masculine and feminine. Notice how the feminine side is very much connected to source, universe. And the masculine is kind of just conscious, looking ahead, right? And they're naked. This is not a card about lovers. It's not a card about somebody coming in for you, which some of the readers like to say it is. I will never tell you that on this channel. But I'll tell you, it is a very intimate card. It is about getting vulnerable. And it is about falling in love with you. And I know that when I say falling in love with, and that's a hard one, because if you're sitting with a lot of stuff that you need to clear out, I mean, you just don't fall in love with yourself quickly like that. It's about making you number one priority. It's about putting you first. It's about starting this intimate, vulnerable, authentic relationship with yourself and getting honest with you, right? No more of this masky, these swords. No more of this. You have the Knight of Swords as your overriding energy that is tired of all that maskiness. It is time to get really, really honest with yourself and find out, who the hell am I? What are all these masks I've been carrying and putting on all my life? People pleasing, serving other people. This is me time. This is me time now. The Magician card comes up right after it. I mean, I can't tell you how powerful this is, these two cards, this Lovers and this Magician card. And the Magician card comes behind it. It says, here you are. You're going to start this vulnerable, intimate relationship with yourself. Because you have everything in you. You have all your answers in you to get to where you want to go. The Magician is this powerful manifester. It can manifest anything, it wants to, they want to. But, and I'm very careful about that word manifestation, because too many people use it. They think that you can just snap your fingers and manifest anything. That's not what the Magician is saying. It's not about being magical here. He has all the elements on the table. He has the pentacle, the cup, the wand, and the sword. He has everything at his disposal. He has this wand right here, and it's connected to source. You have the power in you with the help of universe, with the help of God, creator, source. They are on your side. And the power from them you take in and you ground it into the earth. And that's when you can manifest anything that you want. And the possibilities are endless because you have this lemniscate on top of the Magician's head. You can do anything you want. Once you start to really get in touch with who you are, and you have all the answers inside of you, and that is what is in your shadow, and that is telling me that you have some really creative energy, powerful energy that is sitting in your shadow waiting to be discovered. And what I want you to know about the shadow, Aquarius, is that people assume that the shadow is all our yucky stuff that we've put away, that we don't want to look at, that we, all the stuff that we have to dig out and find, all the shitty stuff that people have told us about ourselves. People think that's all that's in the shadow. Yeah, you get a lot of that in the shadow, but what you also get is some beautiful gifts. And because once you start peeling away about all, your trauma, and we all have trauma on a continuum, but once you start to really clear away all those emotions and all that, those belief systems and all that stuff that you need to heal, that you've repressed in your shadow. There are also some really beautiful gifts here when you start getting really intimate with yourself, and you can manifest a lot of things here. And so I'm going to pull one more card here, just for a bit more for this what's in your shadow card. Yeah, so it tells me that in your shadow here, so I needed to pull one more card, because a lot of times what happens is, yes, you have what I just said you have in there, like some beautiful gifts here, very powerful energy you have sitting here for yourself. But you do have this one card that is the Five of Swords, and it's another sword here. So we're talking, there seems to be a lot of sword energy, which is a lot of mental belief system energy here. And this sword comes in, I call this my bullying card. And this is this individual that has this grimace on his face. He really thinks he's getting away with something. You know, he's got this, he's stolen, or he's won these swords. It looks like he's won a battle. But you have this individual right at the back, the smallest individual on this card at the back. And he's hiding his face. And whenever I see this card, it's the victim, right? It's the bully's victim. He is so full of shame. There is so much shame there and unworthiness. And I'm seeing here that buried in your shadow is some unworthiness that needs to be healed still. There's always healing to be done. But there's still some unworthiness, some shame. Because you see, this is very powerful energy. But in order for you to get to it, to really feel it, and to really feel confident in doing what you want to do next, sometimes we have to clear out just a little bit more. And it looks like there's some shame here, some unworthiness, because there may be a part of you that just thinks, you know, no, I'm not really worthy of doing what I want to do. Maybe there's something you want to do, and you're feeling blocked, and you're not really sure, and it's just like, well, there's a little bit of shame here that needs to be worked out here. So it's more sword energy, because it's belief systems that you've picked up when you were younger, you know, people telling you that you were unworthy. And so I'm seeing here that that's coming up for you to deal with. And then, so how can you heal this? Well, there's a little Page of Cups here that comes out that needs healing. And the Page of Cups is all my pages, my 4 pages in the deck are our inner children. Those are the parts of us that need some healing. And the Page of Cups in particular it's the part of us that it has love on its side. I call this my love seeker. It's probably the most powerful, it is the most powerful inner child that we have. It's the one that gets us into a lot of trouble. It's the one that's seeking love, that just wants to get that love that it never got when it was younger. And you can imagine an adult trying to get that love, right, in every which way, believing that there's going to be that one person out there that's going to save them. And the only person that can do that is yourself, with this vulnerable, intimate relationship that you're going to start with yourself, that needs to be started with yourself here. Because this little inner child, she needs healing. They need to be heard. They need to be loved. You need to feel their emotions. They hold a lot of our grief. And they're going to hold a lot of our shame right here that you need to get at. Right? There's a lot of grief in this card and a lot of shame. And so this particular Page of Cups, he needs healing. She needs healing. And then, how else? Like this 8 of Wands here, these creative wands that are in reverse here, right? The creative wands are, sometimes, you know, when you're wanting to start something new, you just kind of have to go for it and throw those wands up into the air. But I think at one point is, you know, how are you going to heal it? Well, I think you need to, first of all, get in touch with your inner child, like I said. And this creativity here, that it sounds like to me that there's something that you want to do. And maybe you've been feeling quite blocked. I mean, I can see that there's been some blocking here. Well, I know there's something you wanted to do, because in the Seven of Pentacles at the beginning, you were looking at that going, you know, is this it? Is this everything? There is something there for you. There is something. And when I say there's creativity here, I mean that the Wands is about taking your life into a new direction. That is creative, doing something for you. And so these Eight of Wands are coming up, and it's saying, you know, you want those wands. You want to be able to throw them up in the air and just go for it. And there's a lot of resistance here. There's a lot of resistance here to doing that. And that tells me that it's still blocked. Like whatever it is that you want to do, it is still blocked. And so you're going to heal this through getting in touch with your inner child. Not just getting in touch with it. You have the Six of Cups here. The Six is like an exchange. The Six is always like a duality. It's about winning or losing, or giving and receiving. And here you have two, it looks like a bigger child giving, an older child giving something to a younger part of them. This is you having a relationship with your inner child, finding out, what does your inner child need? What does your inner child want from you? Because in order for you to get at this new thing you want to do, this new direction you want to take your life in, this new creative endeavor you're thinking of doing, you need to form a relationship, because there is a little, with your inner child, there is a part of you that needs healing, a very younger part of you. And you need to get in touch with them and ask them. Ask them some questions. Ask them what they want to do. Start to form a relationship with them. And you do that in your writing. You can do a lot of journaling about that. And when if you get a chance to look at the video that I attached at the end about your shadow work, there's a lot in there about journaling. And journaling is a huge part of my own healing. And you journal, you find out, you ask, you journal, you ask, write to your inner child. I remember when I first started out my healing years ago, when I didn't have a therapist, I don't think, at that time, but I started to, there was the big thing was writing with your dominant hand to your inner child, and then answering back with your non-dominant hand, and printing in print. And you ask them something and they answer back. And I did that. And it worked. And I was so scared by it, because they told me some things that I didn't want to hear. And I just I actually ended up throwing away those journals, because I just didn't want to deal with it at the time. I wasn't ready to. But you need to start. And one of the ways you can do that is to write and get in touch with your inner child. They have so many answers for you. They have so much. They hold so many answers. They hold our truth, because you're really seeking your truth here. And they're going to tell you a lot about your truth, about who you were. And and sometimes they hold trauma, and they hold memories. But it's time to seek. You need to heal this into this part of you. And the last part says, what's the outcome here for you? Well, the Empress comes here as your outcome, and she's in reverse. Now, the Empress is a major arcana, so one of these archetypal forces. And she is the... there are two parts to the feminine energy in the major arcana. One is the Empress, and the other one is the High Priestess. The High Priestess, they both talk about our feminine qualities. And the High Priestess is all about intuition. And this Empress who's in reverse, and she's blocked. She's all about the body. She loves the body. She lives from the body. She lives her life through experiencing the body. And that means she feels all her emotions. She doesn't live up in the head. She lives in her body. She feels everything that comes through, because that's how life speaks to her through her emotions. And so she's blocked right now. And so what I'm seeing here is that the outcome for you is once you start to get in touch with, your inner child and forming that relationship and healing that little part of you that wanted to be loved so badly when they were young. And the Empress here, who's in reverse, and she could be like, there's like a resistance, she's blocked right now. So what I'm seeing is, I think what's going to happen is, as you begin to delve into your love seeker and finding out what some of these emotions are that need to be felt, she's coming in here and saying, well, it's going to be time where you too will start to develop that relationship with yourself where you really can start feeling your emotions. And they're going to start you're going to learn from day to day what emotions are going on and what emotions are coming up. And that's how you're going to start living your life, just like the Empress. And the last card that comes up, and it came in sideways, and that was the Thief card. The Thief card here. And it was sideways, and I think that's important for this one because this is the Thief card. And if you see, he's running away. He's at a camp, and he's stolen all these swords, and he thinks that, I'm getting away with this. And he's running. It's very dangerous because he's running away with these swords, and he's holding them by the points, right? So it's very dangerous. And remember that I said that swords are mental. They're belief systems that the beliefs about yourself that people handed you when you were younger, like literally. So you inherited them, right? As a little kid, you're going to believe anything and everything that people tell you about yourself. And so here you are running away with these. And these are swords and they're belief systems. And this is what gives you the pain, And so I think what's going to happen is as you start to really, embrace this Empress and what she is like and how she just starts to live in the body and starts to get in touch with all her emotions. These belief systems are going to become more clear to you. You are going to start to recognize how you have run away with all these false belief systems about yourself, and you have lived by them. And they're just going to become way more apparent to you now. And that's when you're going to start to heal them. And that's where, the grieving is going to come in with the Page of Cups here, because your inner children need to grieve because of all these things that you've been living by, believing this stuff, your self-worth, the shame that you've been carrying that's sitting in your shadow right now. You have such potential here, but yet it's covered up with the shit that people have told you. And, we talked about the Knight of Swords when we first opened and how you're trying to get back to your authentic self. You're realizing there's more to life. There's more to you than these belief systems that people have told you. I'm feeling there's this huge, creative energy. There's this huge, purpose around what you came here to do, who you are, who the authentic self is. But it's covered up right now by some of these emotions and some healing still that has to take place, because we can't get to these gifts that we have, these purposeful direction that we want to go in. It could be small, could be big, until we start to clear away some of that, this crap that people told you, this shame, and these belief systems about yourself. So there's some work to do here for sure, but there's something beautiful that's coming in. Something beautiful coming in that's underneath all of that, because you definitely want to get back to the authentic you. So, beautiful reading for you, Aquarius. I'm going to pull a spirit animal for you. End it all. Just want one. Yay! Woo! Oh, so true. Sweet, the B, sweet results await. The bee spirit's message is that sweet rewards are on their way if you are willing to get your ego out of the way. Bee spirit knows not to let a sense of being second. Sometimes, okay. Bee spirit knows not to let a sense of being separate get in the... I don't know why this isn't making sense to me. Okay. Bee spirit knows not to let a sense of being get in the way of a good thing. Spirit is always producing honey. Miracles and magic are everywhere. When you connect with the great hive, you are vibrating and buzzing in exquisite harmony with all. Bee spirit asks that your focus be on connectivity. And we talked about that, about the Lover's card, about how you need to connect to yourself in such a vulnerable and authentic way, right? Intimate way. Bee spirit wants so your body, heart, soul, and psyche experience total interconnectedness and a true integration when you self-forget. When you remember that you are part of a greater unified consciousness. Bee spirit wants you to remember that your part in the divine partnership with the conscious universe is being rewarded, even if you can't see that yet. And asks that you share your good fortune as there is plenty of honey for all. Be a part of the larger whole, the force that brings forth all that is sweet and delightful. Wow. Beautiful way to end it. Take care, Aquarius, and I'll see you soon.